Let's start with the absolute easiest target on the board. Most field goals made in a single game without a miss. The record? 7. Justin Tucker, Graham Gano, and a few others have done it. But here's the kicker, literally. Kickers are better than ever. The accuracy rate across the league is insane right now. We've got guys drilling 60-yarders like they're extra points. Weather conditions are managed better. Field surfaces are pristine. And coaches are more analytics-driven than ever, meaning they're taking those field goal attempts instead of going for it. All you need is one high-scoring game where both teams are trading blows, a kicker who's locked in, and boom, 8 field goals. This record is so breakable it might fall next season. Someone's gonna go 8 for 8 in a 45-42 barn burner, and we're all gonna act surprised, even though we saw it coming from a mile away. But wait, it gets even more absurd. Most punts in a single game without a touchback. The record sits at 11 punts. Think about that. 11 times a punter had to boot the ball, and none of them rolled into the end zone. In today's NFL, where punters are basically launching missiles with surgical precision, this one's begging to be broken. Modern punters train specifically to pin teams inside the 20. They've got hang time mastered. They can drop a ball on the 5-yard line, like they're playing darts. Give a guy like A.J. Cole or Brian Anger a windy day, a game with 2 offenses that can't move the ball, and 12 punts with 0 touchbacks is not just possible. It's probable. This record doesn't require greatness. It requires a really boring Thursday night game and a punter who packed his lunch. Now here's one that's genuinely shocking. Longest field goal in a dome. That record is 64 yards, kicked by Matt Prater back in 2013. But plot twist, that was in Denver, which is basically football on the moon with that altitude advantage. The dome record is 58 yards. 58! In a controlled environment with no wind, perfect conditions, and kickers who are stronger than ever. Justin Tucker has the leg. Brandon Aubrey just entered the league, booting 60-yarders in warm-ups, like it's a casual Tuesday. Harrison Butker's out here making 55-yarders look automatic. Someone's gonna break this record, and when they do, we're all gonna wonder why it took so long. Domes are literally designed to help kickers. No wind, no rain, no snow, no excuses. This record is basically holding up a sign that says, "Please break me," and somehow it's still standing. Wild. Let's talk about something a little spicier. Most consecutive games with a sack by a rookie. The record is 10 games, set by Jevin Kears back in 1999, when he was an absolute terror. But here's the thing. Pass rushers are more refined now than ever. They're coming into the league NFL ready. Guys like Micah Parsons and Aiden Hutchinson hit the ground running with double-digit sack seasons. The league passes more, which means more opportunities. Offensive lines are thinner due to injuries and cap restrictions. If a rookie edge rusher lands in the right situation on a team that can get leads and force opponents to pass, 11 straight games with a sack is absolutely doable. This isn't some mythical feat anymore. It's a realistic Rookie of the Year campaign waiting to happen. Here's a fun one. Most receiving yards in a game by a tight end. The record is 214 yards, set by Shannon Sharp in 2002. Now, Shannon was incredible, don't get me wrong. But tight ends today are basically oversized wide receivers. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and even younger guys like Sam Laporta are getting peppered with targets in high-octane offenses. Give one of these guys a game where the defense is keying on the outside receivers, the running game isn't working, and the quarterback just keeps feeding them in the middle of the field, and 220 yards is in play. Tight ends are matchup nightmares now. They're too fast for linebackers and too big for safeties. This record is absolutely gettable, and honestly, it's kind of surprising Kelce hasn't already taken it down. And while we're on tight ends, here's another. Most touchdowns by a tight end in a single season. The record is 17, set by Rob Gronkowski in 2011 during his absolute peak dominance. But again, the way offenses use tight ends now is different. Their primary red zone weapons. Kyle Pitts, if he ever gets a decent quarterback, has the talent. Brock Bowers just put up a monster rookie year. Mark Andrews, when healthy, is a touchdown machine. If a tight end stays healthy for 17 games, plays on a top 5 offense, and gets consistent red zone looks, 18 touchdowns is not a fantasy, it's a projection. Gronk's record was legendary at the time, but the league has evolved to make tight ends even more central to scoring. Someone's gonna get 18, and we're all gonna tweet finally, like we've been waiting for it our whole lives. Now let's pivot to something defensive. Most forced fumbles in a season. The record is 12, shared by a few players. But here's the reality. Defensive ends and outside linebackers are coached now to specifically attack the ball. Strip sack drills are a staple of every practice. Guys like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are already in that 10 to 11 range multiple seasons. All it takes is 1 year where everything clicks, a few extra fumbles bounce their way, and boom! 13 forced fumbles. This isn't some unreachable peak. It's a matter of time and opportunity. Defensive players are more athletic, more technically sound, and more aggressive than ever. This record is sitting there like a piñata at a birthday party, just waiting for someone to take a swing. Here's one that's almost embarrassing. Most consecutive extra points made. The record is 523, set by Adam Vinatieri over multiple seasons. Now, Vinatieri is a legend, obviously. But extra points used to be automatic 20-yard chip shots. Then the NFL moved them back to 33 yards, which made them slightly harder, but still very makeable. The thing is, kickers are so good now that if someone gets hot and stays healthy, 524 is absolutely within reach. Justin Tucker's already got stretches of ridiculous consistency. Harrison Butker rarely misses anything. This record doesn't require greatness. It requires not pulling a hamstring and having decent snaps and holds. Someone's gonna break this, probably without even realizing it, until the broadcast mentions it in the third quarter of a random Week 14 game. Let's get weird. Most tackles in a single game. The record is 24 solo tackles by David Harris in 2007. That's absurd, right? But here's the catch. Tackles are somewhat subjective depending on how official scores count them. And also, you need a game where one linebacker is just getting absolutely peppered. If a team runs the ball 40 times right at one guy, and he's making every stop, the number can balloon. It's rare, sure, but not impossible. Modern defenses sometimes leave a linebacker isolated in space against running plays. Give him a game where the offense is hell-bent on running, where his team is down so the opponent is grinding clock, and 25 tackles is on the table. This record is less about skill and more about opportunity and volume, which makes it surprisingly breakable. Here's another layup. Most consecutive games with a reception to start a career. The record is 194 games held by none other than Larry Fitzgerald. That's an incredible feat of durability and consistency. But here's the thing, receivers are managed better now. They get more targets early in their careers. Offensive schemes are designed to get everyone involved. If a first-round receiver comes into a pass-heavy offense and stays healthy, 195 consecutive games with a catch is doable. It's not about being the best receiver ever. It's about not getting hurt and being competent enough to get at least one target per game. In an era where teams throw 40 times a game, this record is more about luck and health than anything else. The absolute most breakable record on this list. Most consecutive seasons with at least one receiving touchdown. The record is 20 seasons, also held by the great Jerry Rice. Now, Jerry was incredible, but here's the reality check. If a receiver comes into the league at 22, plays until they're 42, and catches at least one touchdown per year, they break it. That's it. With modern medicine, nutrition, and load management, playing into your late 30s is more common. Guys like Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins have shown you can be productive deep into your 30s. If someone like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase takes care of their body and plays 21 seasons with at least one score each year, boom, new record. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but in today's NFL, it's absolutely achievable. Now, if you like this video, click the video on the screen for more.